Hi everybody, Alex the Pro here from Expert Forex, and in today's video we're going to be looking at Forex testers that we need to help us with some of our EAs that we are testing, and we're going to look at the EAs that we need help with, and we're also going to look through the process of how you can become a Forex tester for these EAs. So in the past, when we had a new EA or an upgrade, what we did is we actually tested it ourselves and we said, oh no, this is no good, or this upgrade won't add value to the EA, and we then shelved those ideas or trading concepts to one side and moved on. But now we want to use a more client-orientated approach, a new testing approach where there's client participation, where the clients can say, I know you've rejected this EA, but if you do this and this and this, we're happy that you can commercialize it and make it available to us. And they could also say the opposite. They could also say, no, we agree with you, this EA is too dangerous, or there's too many risks, or all that kind of thing. So we're going to be running a few testing approaches like this to see if this approach comes up with some positive results. At the moment, we need testers for 3 EAs. The one is the Random Market Trader EA, and many of you will already be familiar with these EAs. The other one is the Forex Pruner EA, and then the last one is the Grid Trend Multiplier, which we want to test the flexible target version of that particular EA. But before we get into the detail of this testing, you can see that recently we had a Forex trading competition, and all of our EAs were traded profitably by our clients during this competition. And that is because we apply a lot of quality control to our EAs, and we don't just market any old EA that comes along. We do a lot of testing. We make sure that it's a sound trading principles, and it also has low risk and that type of thing. So that is why when we publish an EA, it has a good chance of succeeding. All right, so let's have a look at the random market traders what has happened so far. So the concept has really been around for quite a long time. We then wrote an EA also quite a long time ago, and we have refined it just recently and tested it at a high level and got some really good results. We'll have a look at those results later on. We then added an MA filter, which you may not be aware of, and we got even better results. But the MA filter really went against the idea of a random trading EA, but anyway, that did produce better results. We then went along and stress tested it. In other words, we tested it over longer periods and under different conditions, and the concept, although profitable, was found to be not that healthy, and that is why we have got concerns over the commercialization. Some of the lot sizing that had to happen to make it profitable, I thought that it was a little bit too dangerous and of high risk. Now here the tester's job is going to prove us wrong, and to suggest changes that reduce the negative aspects of the EA, or to just say, look, we'll take the EA as it is. We think that the risks are there, but as long as we're aware of the risk, we're happy to trade this EA, and you can commercialize it and make it available to all traders. So that's the idea behind the tester, it is to actually evaluate these EAs that we have found to be marginal. Now, you can get a lot more information about this random trading EA. There has been a previous video that you can see on your screen, and right now you'll see a link to this video. Please watch this if you are interested in testing this particular EA. The results have been really good. There are 2 aspects. You can, as I mentioned earlier, the random trading results. There we are, $305,000 in a year, and it goes down like that. And then we changed it into the MA filter version, and that doubled the income that we started creating. So the MA version really has added a lot of value to this EA with even smaller relative drawdowns. So if you go along to our forum, you will see a lot of information on the forum about the EA, there's explanation of the logic and variables used by the EA. There's the results that you've just seen, how you can download this random trader EA, and I'll talk a bit more about that aspect and what all the settings do, some discussion around that, and that video that I've just shown you. And then there's a whole discussion and question section where the traders can start talking to each other and say, have you tried this? Have you thought of this? What approach are you going to use? And that kind of thing, because it's very open-ended. We're not going to give you settings to blindly test. We want the testers to think quite widely on this testing process. And then if we move on to the Forex Pruner EA, that was an idea that was sent by a client who saw an interesting video. What we then did is we automated the concept and did some initial testing. The testing looked really good, and we'll look at that. We again subjected it to some stress testing, and it failed in that there were actually too many transactions open at the same time. So the testers again need to prove to us that we're wrong by saying this is not an EA that should be in the market, or they should agree with us. They should say, yes, the risks are too high and you shouldn't make this available to the market. And then they should motivate if they want it to be commercialized. Again, there was a very detailed video showing the background behind this particular EA. It's the Hedged Grid Pruner EA, and there it is. And please go and watch this video. Again, there will be a link flashing right now for you to go and watch the video. And the original video, here it is. It's at 52,000 views. Again, here's the link that you can click on to go and have a look about the concept of this particular method. The results are actually quite good. If you look at the results here, 67,000 pips, because this is relatively, this is pips. In a year, 41,000, 33,000. So all good results coming out there. But as I say, the number of open deals is a concern with this particular EA. Then the third one that we're looking at is the grid trend multiplier. Again, just to give you some background, a client proposed flexible targets, which should improve results. Now, the problem with a proposal like that, you don't know if it's going to work or not until the EA is written. So we then created a flexible version for the client. We gave him the exclusive version. He did not come up with conclusive proof that the concept has a better, but more clients are now asking for the same change. Again, it's a theoretical. They just think that it will improve results. Not sure about that. So the testers of this concept will tell us why this change should test in such a way that the change should be motivated by either an increase in profit or a reduction of risk. Reduction of risk is also a good way of motivating for a change in an EA, and we'll then consider whether this should go into the next upgrade. Now, in this particular case, the testers can only come from existing owners of that particular EA. We don't make an existing EA that is going to be upgraded available to our testers in general. Only owners can test that particular one, and the test version can be downloaded from the EA Factory website, but you can also go to the forum where you will find more details about the testing of this particular approach. Now, the big question is, how do you become a tester? And again, on our forum, there's a whole section on testing, and it has there how to become a tester. Just click on that, and it'll give you all the background behind the testing, what the objectives are, and all that type of thing. And again, how you can become a tester. Now, I must point out that you need to be a paid member of this forum to be a tester. Now, the subscription is $36 a month, but the minute you submit a testing report saying, I have tested this EA, here are the strengths, here are the weaknesses, here are my test results, and I think it should be commercialized for the following reasons, or it should be commercialized for the following reasons. That kind of report, if you send that to us, we will refund your monthly subscription. So you can do this testing for free, but you do have to be a member to get access to the testing. Very important. We don't want to open this to the general public where every person just downloads the EA and we never see them again. And also, as you can see, the EA is available. You can just go through that. Just to be released soon is now over. It has been released, and here is the testing report requirements for subscription refunds. I've already actually mentioned them, but you can go and read them again, and then you can go into discussions and comments on the testing process through there. But again, here's the forum link. The link will also be in the description of the video and in the commentary of the video. Okay, some important aspects of the testing. Firstly, the testing is not trialing the EA or just letting it run on a set of settings and then reporting back to us. That's not what it's about. It is about genuine testing. So you need testing skills, you need back trading skills, you need good data to test on and that type of thing. So we expect testers to provide feedback about the feasibility of releasing the EA to be traded by our clients. We need input on the settings, ways to improve the results, lower the risk, and we expect a lot of discussion from our testers. Now, because of that, we have built the EA to expire by the 8th of June. So by the 8th of June, the EA will become useless. It cannot then be traded anymore or tested anymore. So these test versions are only limited till the 8th of June. So the quicker you join as a tester and start testing, the better. After the 8th of June, no further testing can be done with this version. The reason for that is that after that, we should get a lot of input for changes to the EA. And we might actually do another test version of the EA, or we might go straight into a commercialization of the EA based on the feedback that we have. So then we don't need the testing version anymore. Another important point is that the testing will be back testing. The period, as you can see, is too short to do forward testing, so most of the results and conclusions and suggestions and all that will come from experiences that you've had with backtest. Other thing to realize, we're not providing the settings. There are some default settings that come with the EA, but the testers are expected to experiment, do their own experimentation with settings to try and optimize the EA or get better results from the EA and better ways of managing risk and managing income. So testers do need a bit of experience in terms of testing. As I've mentioned before, you need to be a paid member of the forum to test. The random EA and the Pruner EA and subscriptions are $36, which will be refunded when you produce your test report. You have to be the owner of the GTM EA to test the variable target version. Now, the big plus here is that should the EA be commercialized, the tester who had submitted testing reports will get this EA for free. So that's a huge plus. I mean, this could be a $300 EA, and because you've been involved in the testing and you submitted a really good report, you could get this free. So that's one of the incentives to become a tester, is that, and also there's a lot of incentives, such as you'll learn a lot about testing in your discussions with other testers and things like that. Just a quick reminder that those 14 EAs that I showed you earlier that were all traded profitably by our clients are still available in a bundle at 80% off. So please, if you are interested in this bundle, don't delay and purchase these profitable EAs in that particular bundle at that incredibly low price. So I hope you're as excited as I am about this testing opportunity that has developed. Please, if you do have any questions or comments or remarks, either make them in the comments of the YouTube video or ideally in the forum, so that all the forum members can see your questions and participate in the answers, and it might stimulate questions of their own. So from me, Alex Deploy, cheerio. And as my dog Denzel says, I hope you have a very nice, relaxing day.